Let me show you how to mock up your t-shirt design with t-shirt mock-up panels. So I'm going to go into Illustrator here where I have an existing logo, and I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back into the Photoshop template here, and there's a layer that says hide this layer and paste in your art. So let's go ahead and highlight that and click on this eyeball to hide it and go Command V, and that will paste our new graphic into this layer group. And let's scale it down just a little bit and click return or enter to apply it. And one thing you'll notice here is there's some t-shirt texture that's knocking through this graphic. So that's the magic fabric texture layer. And you can turn that off if you don't want it, but I think it really adds to the realism. You can also change the opacity of that layer. So if you want more of an effect, you can turn it up to 100%. If you want less, you could say turn it down to 50. I think it looks really good at about 75%. And let me turn this graphic layer off just for a second. And if I turn on and off the visibility of these different fabric layers, you can see there's different fabric designs with different fabric wrinkles. But I'm going to go back down to fabric 7 and make that visible. And let's turn on our visibility of our graphic layer again. And let's say we want to change this fabric color to white. It's really easy. Just double click, make your color white, click OK. And also in this fabric layer, you'll notice shading levels. You can double click on that and you can adjust the highlights and the shading of that fabric. So if you want it really contrasty, you can ramp up the leftmost slider. You can move it to the right. Or if you want it a little brighter, you can move the rightmost one to the left. And let's say we want to make this t-shirt mock-up on a black shirt. So what we can do is let's go back down to our fabric color layer here. And instead of going pure black, what we'll want to do is get, say, 80% black or so. Click OK. Let's go back up into our fabric here, double click on the shading levels, and let's really ramp up the darkness of that. And the other thing, let's invert this graphic to make it white so it shows up. Image adjustments, invert. And I think that's looking really good. Now there's one more feature that the Photoshop templates have that the Illustrator ones don't. In the Photoshop templates, you can apply a displacement map, and that'll warp the graphic to match the wrinkles in the fabric. So let me show you how that works. Let's highlight our graphic layer here and go Filter, Distort, Displace. And we want our horizontal scale at 30, our vertical scale at 30. Let's click OK. And with your Photoshop templates, there's a folder with 7 displacement maps. And the key here is you want to match up the displacement map with the same number of fabric panel that you're using. So in this Photoshop template, we're using fabric number 7. We're going to want to use displacement map number 7. So we click OK, and you'll see now that the graphic matches the warp of the fabric wrinkles. The other thing you may notice is if I undo that, when you apply the displacement map, it moves everything up and to the left. So if you need your graphic to be centered, before you apply the displacement map, you can move your graphic down and to the right a little bit, and then go ahead and apply the displacement map again. And that'll be more centered. So that's how to mock up your t-shirt graphics with t-shirt mock-up panels. Thanks for watching.